Hello everyone and welcome back to a new video in my Sims 4 speed building series. So today we have a new pack that just came out called Snowy Escape, and I have to say I'm very excited about it. Ever since I heard it came out, I was really looking forward to it. Um, like never before. Like I usually have a new game pack and expansion pack, like I get it immediately, but I like to play with it like slowly and like get to know every kind of item in it and then make a build eventually, like maybe a few weeks after the pack originally comes out. But this time with this pack, like I couldn't wait for it to come out. So the moment it was out, I got it and started building this house that is the house that I wanted to build from the beginning of the game. So let me give you a bit of background. I know I never talk about my personal life or anything, but I think now it's the time uh, in order to explain this build. So I actually have been living in Japan for the past 6 years. I've originally came as a student, and then I met someone and we got together, and eventually we got married. So back then, this was my the house where my boyfriend used to live. Um, he doesn't live there. We don't live there anymore, but when I first met him, he was living in this house. So that same year, 2014, it was the year I came to Japan, and the year Sims 4 got out. So the first thing I wanted when the game was out was to build this house. And of course, I couldn't because there were many levels in that house, as you will see in this build, and too many details that couldn't be made with just the base game back then. Anyway, the game has come along um, pretty well lately, and like it had many updates, and like the last update we got those platforms, which is very awesome. I know everybody's talking about that. So of course, when this game came out, or when this expansion pack came out, the first thing I did was like it was like 7 a.m. when I woke up, and I just came to my computer and like started building. Um, so I'm very excited because this is the second time I'm trying this house, and it's like 6 years later, and I'm very happy with the result. So I want to talk to you about this, uh, a few details on this home. So of course, when you get inside the house, there's that little space that's like actually the rest of the house is on a platform, and that only the entrance is like the same level with the outside. So that is called like a genkan. So that's what I tried to do with this build as well. I tried to put the rest of the building on a higher platform rather than to lower just the genkan part. So then, of course, because this is a new expansion pack, I struggled with some glitches in this game. For example, those pillars in the Japanese style room, they kept disappearing. Also, the staircase kept disappearing every time like I would modify something in around the house. So here you can see I'm working on that Japanese style room, which originally it was used as a bedroom. So because my husband was living like there by himself, of course he didn't need all that big house for for just one person. So he didn't use the upstairs at all. He only used the downstairs area. So he turned the Japanese style room into which is, by the way, is called washitsu. He turned it into his bedroom, but in this build I wanted a more like fluid build, and so I put like a kotatsu there, which is that low table. He which has a heater, and you can spend your winter there and everything. He didn't have a kotatsu, and we still don't have a kotatsu. I would love to have one, but unfortunately, it takes kind of a lot of space. So uh, yeah, and those that house. So it's like it really did one kotatsu, because in winter I can tell you it was really cold in there. Okay, so moving on with the living, the rest of the house I tried to keep like pretty much the same. I also had to improvise with the upstairs bedrooms because of course they were like not used. Um, Here I'm working on the Genkan on the platform over there, which actually was in real life. It was like what was there? It was like an incorporated shoe um, box, like shoe closet. Moving on with the living room. Now this house actually had modern windows on the exterior, like big windows from the floor to the ceiling. But I tried to use from another pack, windows from another pack, and they didn't work. So eventually I just went with the uh, windows that came with this Snowy Escape expansion. So, but in the washitsu, in the Japanese living room over there, on the first floor, you can actually see there is a small porch. So that small porch also had like Japanese style windows on the inside. I placed them on the outside, and then modern windows on the outside. I did the other way around. Now here we are in the dining area, and I'm so impressed with how accurate this turned out to be. Like everything is like almost like in real life. And I have to tell you, I've built this house all from my memory. I don't actually have any picture of it, but I remember it very well because I liked it so much. So this is the kitchen area, and it was like that. It was green, and there was this big long window with like a shelf, and it was very bright, so you could keep like potted herbs and stuff. And I loved that place so much. Also, separating this dining area and the living, there was like a screen coming from the ceiling, but of course, since we don't have that in the game, I improvised and I put that separator there. Also, this wall, I used that big shelf, but actually that was where the toaster and like microwave machine was. So moving on with the kitchen, I put the cupboards there, and because there was that platform, they were a bit raised, but it's not a big problem. So this is in all the Japanese houses, the shower and bath are separated from, there's like an room before you enter the shower room where you have like a sink and washing machine and like hamper and stuff. It's like an utility space, and it's really well designed. And then you enter into the shower room, which is basically, even though it has a bathtub, it's basically a big shower room. Like you can make a mess everywhere. It's washable. It's You can clean it really easy. Moving on with the outside and the other Japanese. So there were two Japanese style rooms put together, and you can open those like shoji, no, like fusuma, which are those doors that you can see there separating them, and you can actually make one big room. I only used one set of doors just to be more practical. So also the higher part in this washitsu, which is called like a tokonoma, it wasn't that big, but I couldn't fit like the proper size in there, so I just made it like one part like all the way across the room. Also, the outside of this house it had very, very, very small garden, just like you can see in the build here, maybe even smaller than that. But it didn't have like fancy sand like that. Nobody has that in their houses. That's just like for Japanese gardens at the temples, maybe. But you know, for the game's sake, I just placed those, and they look quite cute. So that's the outside, like you can see it now with the sand. And also like the front entrance, it's very similar, not 100% the same, but kind of similar like that. And also it had a back door, where you could go out and like put your laundry outside to dry and everything. And it had like a plain color on the outside, and only upstairs it was like a bit like Japanese style. All right, so almost finished with the outside. I also placed like pine trees, Japanese matsu trees, and changed all the windows with the ones that came with this pack. And also the second Japanese style room on the one downstairs in real life was like used to just to deposit stuff. Like there were lots of closets incorporated in the wall, and it wasn't used much. So I just made like a small living there. Like I put two sofas and that's it. Uh, it's quite a big house actually, and even in real life, like from the outside it looked very small for some reason. Like I used to look at it from the outside and it was small, like it wouldn't stand out at all. But once you get inside, it was quite wide, and there was quite a lot of space. It didn't feel small at all, but maybe because uh, all around this house were like other houses, and there was no basic like in except that small front garden. There was nothing like backyard or anything like that. There was just another house. So even the windows, even the window from the kitchen above the counters that I told you, like you could put like potted herbs and stuff in there because it was bright, but you couldn't actually see outside the window. The window was like had this frosty glass, and most of the windows in this kind of houses are like frosted because usually there's nothing like you open that window and you look straight into the wall of your neighbor's house, or like in on their window, and I've seen that lots of times. So moving on to the upstairs, there was a small bedroom in the middle, and then there was a long one bedroom, and then there was another bedroom there which had like a Japanese style room which had another Japanese style room. That house was like pretty impressive, I must tell you, even though like uh these three last bedrooms that I've been talking about, I only got to see them once. So you can see those two Japanese bedrooms right there, and they open, you can enter from, they were like an extension to that master bedroom, which I found it fascinating. And then the small bedroom, of course I improvised because these rooms were all empty, literally. And there was this small toilet um, upstairs. uh, okay, so I made, for the sake of the game, I made twin bedroom. The long one would be a twin bedroom. The smaller bedroom would be like a kid's room, and then there's the master bedroom. And I made a small living area from the first Japanese style room, and just like a storage, a closet in the second Japanese style room. So you can see here I'm working on the master bedroom. I wanted to keep it simple. There's only a bed and two end tables, and pretty much that's it. A bit of decoration and maybe a rug. And yeah, so that's pretty much the house. Um, I've also came back a few times to the exterior and added some more to the garden, and went again to the upstairs, and Um, there is a bit of dead space on the Genkan area that I didn't fill it with anything, but you can totally add a closet there if you want to. Um, Adding some more decorations to the Genkan area, and it's a pretty big house now. Maybe how many Sims can live there? Like you can totally add more beds in there. Also, you can turn like the Japanese style rooms and upstairs like into two additional bedrooms if you like to do that. Like, and yeah, that's pretty much it. So like upstairs there are like two, three, four beds. There's a toilet upstairs, and there's a toilet downstairs, and there is the shower room. And of course, like I said, it's a pretty big house, so of course other bedrooms like Japanese style rooms can be turned into bedrooms as well. So I'm changing the downstairs windows as well with the ones that came with the pack. And this house had like a bit of a green theme, like the carpet in the living room was green, the counters in the kitchen were green, the what else? What else? The curtains were green, so it had this green theme. Also, apparently this house was built in the 80s. Yes, in around 80s. So yeah. Also, apparently the flooring in the kitchen was heated. Like you could turn on heating through the flooring, which I never experienced there. I didn't know that was possible. Just now when I was building this house and I was showing it to my husband and like, hey, I built this house where you used to live in, and he said like, hey, did you know the the flooring in the kitchen was electric and like you could heat it up? And I was, no way. um, there were other few devices there. I don't remember exactly what else, but we definitely had those heaters. Like there was this heater in the dining area all the time because that's where he spent most of his time, or like in the living room. And it's portable, so you can take it with you wherever you need it. So yeah, what else? I really enjoyed like whenever you needed like hot water, there was like this electronic panel in the kitchen and also one in the bathroom that you could turn on the gas heater, and it will heat up the water. So it could also, no, that was only for the water, I guess. Yeah. So whenever you needed to take a shower, you had to turn that on, and then you could set the temperature, which was really cool. Like if you want 40 degrees, 40 Celsius degrees water, you could set it out and it would be exactly 40 degrees. Yeah, so moving on to the middle smallest bedroom, and in real life too, this was like very small, very small bedroom. And it's almost finished, so we're almost at the end of this video, and I can't believe I talked for so long. It's I usually don't talk so much on my videos, but like I said, I was very excited about this building and about this pack, and I didn't even get to play much with like the gameplay stuff. I just went straight into the building mode and made this, and I feel so satisfied about it. So you can see the small living room in the Japanese style room over there, and also there's another heater in there. And yeah, just going up and downstairs, just changing here and there. All right, so that's pretty much it. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you had a good time watching this, and pictures will come soon. And I'll see you in next time. Bye.